Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of CTLN Opinion Plus. As you know, this is a space for us to have conversations about Latino issues and Latino concerns. This week we are talking about Homeland security as well as emergencies. And we are joined today by the Deputy Commissioner Regina Rush-Kittle. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You have a very important job, especially during these times. Can you tell us a little bit about what your department does?
Okay, well, here in emergency management, as the Division of Emergency Management and Homeland Security for the state of Connecticut, we're charged with developing, administrating, and coordinating a comprehensive statewide emergency management and Homeland Security program that encompasses all of the human and man-made hazards and disasters to ensure that the safety and well-being of the citizens of the state of Connecticut are looked after. We are one of 6 divisions within the Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection here in the state. Within our division, we have our radiological emergency preparedness unit, which works closely to collaborate and coordinate all the planning for any incident which may occur at our nuclear power plant here, which you should all know is Millstone. And we also have our telecommunications unit, which ensures that communications infrastructure capabilities are maintained throughout the state of Connecticut during any type of incident or disaster, such as we want to make sure we have phone service. We want to make sure that we have radio communications. We want to make sure that data is working throughout the state of Connecticut. We also have our operations, exercise and training unit, which in the state of Connecticut, we don't have county government. So we have split the state of Connecticut up into 5 regions, and we have 5 regional coordinators. And those regional coordinators work with the emergency management directors in each of the towns, and they coordinate and deliver our services and plan and prepare with the local municipalities, the cities and towns throughout the state of Connecticut. We have our strategic planning and grants unit, and they administer all of our multiple federal and state grant programs that we have. We have our recovery unit, which administers all of the federal disaster assistance grants that cover us here in the state of Connecticut. We have the State Emergency Operations Center, which is located in the Armory in Connecticut, in Hartford, with the National Guard. And during COVID, we've been activated since March 9th of 2020. And we had a full activation. We went to a virtual activation, and effective yesterday, we went to a partial activation. So that's what we do during COVID. But any other times at the Emergency Operations Center, we're working through hurricanes. We'd be working through any storms, any severe weather conditions, any man-made or natural disasters. We'd be activated, and we're called into operation by the governor.
You mentioned natural and man-made disasters. Can you tell us about hazard mitigation and how our communities can be better prepared in the case of something scary like a nuclear power issue?
Well, the communities can be prepared through working with their emergency management directors, as I was referring to initially during my first response there, and also with our regional coordinators. So that's part of the planning that they ensure that happens within each community throughout the state of Connecticut. And as I said, if any of those incidents ever happen, that's when our State Emergency Operations Center would be activated up in Hartford and through the governor, and we would be then working directly with all of those communities and working with all our state agencies and our municipal partners to get through that incident, and also to see that we recover from that.
There are many different kinds of communities in Connecticut, and not all of them speak English. In the case of an emergency, how do you go about addressing those communities that are often hard to reach?
So what we did during COVID is that we saw that and we addressed it. And so one of the things that we've done is one of the key goals here in emergency management is to make sure that all of the people have all of the right information to make the decisions when those, the right decisions when those times come. So, and that would include all of our communities across the state of Connecticut. So what we have enacted since COVID-19 is we have a diverse communities outreach task force that has been activated. And they work regularly to engage members of our culturally diverse communities through the media, through community organizations, as well as working with our communities that have disabilities. And they've been very active during the COVID response. This group works directly and advises and through our governor's office. And we've been working through COVID with Department of Public Health. And this group will remain active during our upcoming hurricane season to make sure that the messaging gets out and that our future disaster planning needs are met. And so what the group will continue to do is ensure that important messages are sent out through interpreters, and that we cover at least the top 3 to 4 key languages in the state of Connecticut. So English, Spanish, Portuguese, and make sure that the messages get out to our communities.
For those of us that are new to the state, some of us aren't sure when hurricane season begins or ends, and what steps we need to take. Care to enlighten us a bit on that?
So hurricane season it starts in June, and it goes through November. And then what we would do is ensure that, as I talked about, that with our making sure that our diverse communities get this messaging out now. And we're going to focus on that now more than we've done in the past. And as I said, we're going to make sure that the information is gotten out in various languages and communicated. And when those situations occur, that's when we activate at the State Emergency Operations Center in Hartford, and working directly with our regional coordinators through our emergency management directors, and making sure that message is gotten out throughout the state of Connecticut. We also work. I'm sorry. We also work directly with all of our state agencies to ensure that they are informed and prepared to respond.
In the event of a hurricane doing major damage, what does your department do to address it and to ensure safety for the residents of Connecticut?
Well, if and when a hurricane is headed towards Connecticut, one of the first things that we're going to do is we get the information out to let everyone throughout the state of Connecticut know, all our communities know. So we send out emails, we send out broadcasts, we send out through text messages. We send that information out. We also post information on our DEMA's website, and then we make sure the information gets out through our regional coordinators, through emergency management directors, and then that is disseminated through all of the cities, the local town governments, and then we actually prepare and activate our emergency operations center in Hartford, as I talked about, and throughout the incident, prior to and during and beyond, we will continue to operate out of the State Emergency Operations Center as we begin to recover through that effort.
Pivoting to another form of security that has started to take over the headlines lately. In February, there was a cybersecurity issue at a water treatment facility in Florida, and Connecticut has also experienced some cybersecurity attacks, like the breach of software at the Connecticut DMV because of the technology that the DMV uses to track vehicle emissions. How does one prepare for something like a cybersecurity breach, and how do we prevent it from happening?
So here in the state, what we have done for an extended period of time is to want to make sure that our cities, towns, our businesses are aware, active, prepared for any kind of cyber incident. So we have our cybersecurity committee that meets on a monthly basis here. I actually chair that committee with Mark Raymond. He's also from the state Department of Administrative Services. So we co-chair that committee. We meet monthly, and we discuss any kind of cyber incidents that may be on the forefront. We also have briefings, what has occurred in the state and across the country and internationally with cyber incidents. We so it's a group of cyber professionals, and our IT cyber staff are informed and kept up to date on these incidents. We also have put together a cyber incident reporting guide, which is a one-page guide, and we have disseminated that throughout the state of Connecticut. It's also posted on our DEMIS website, so that if you are involved in a cyber incident, who to contact immediately. First of all, start working with your local police department, and then we want you to contact our Connecticut Intelligence Center. We also will work through any cyber incident with our local, state, and federal partners. So we would then alert the FBI if anything occurs throughout the state of Connecticut cyber related. We have a cyber analyst within our Connecticut Intelligence Center. And we also have a cyber trainer that has traveled around the state of Connecticut just to give basic information on cybersecurity for some of our different state facilities he's gone to, and just held different classes throughout the state of Connecticut to keep us informed on cyber incidents.
I think this might be my last question, but in preparing for a cybersecurity issue, what kind of businesses are more susceptible, and what can they do to prevent any sort of lasting damaging effect?
I think I'm not sure if any one business is more susceptible than another. It's just, it's good cyber security, good cyber maintenance, passwords, backing up your systems, and it's just good cyber security. Like I said, maintenance and informing your employees as to what we have in here in the state of Connecticut is we have a class, which is where we go quarterly, and we have cyber awareness training, and that's important for your employees. So if you have an IT staff and they are thoroughly and very much aware on what to look for, if you're not training your employees, then that's where the downfall is, because the employees might not have that knowledge. So make sure that cyber awareness is throughout your business, your agency, your staff, your personnel.
Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. I really appreciate it. This has been extremely informative, and it's not a topic that we talk about often. So thank you for coming on.
Again, thank you for having us. And the Division of Emergency Management and Homeland Security is here for our citizens in the state of Connecticut, morning, noon, afternoon, 24/7. So.
I hope you don't have a lot to do this for the rest of the year. I'm hoping.
I hope so. I hope that is true. We've been busy.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you to Deputy Commissioner Rush-Kittle for joining us this afternoon and for being our guest. For more information about our discussion today and the Division of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, check out our web story at ctlatinonews.com. And don't forget to tune in next week for another episode, and follow us on all of our social media handles, on Twitter at CTLatinoNews and Instagram at CT_Latino News. I'm Savani Campos with CTLN Opinion Plus. See you next time.